2025 is going to be a year of change, and this video will help you prepare for it. I'm going to make a couple of predictions for 2025 in this video that may sound controversial, but a year from now, we can come back to this video and we're going to see if I was right. We're going to explore some of these trends that are happening and how they will continue to affect your dating life in 2025. Change number 1, death of the alpha male dating advice. Whether it's Andrew Tate, Fresh and Fit, or this guy, the volatile, unsustainable coaches are all showing their true colors.
Crypto Twitter is full of losers. They have a 0% net positive impact on the world. If I were to say to you, make as much money as you can while absolutely positively helping no one at all, you'd have to turn to crypto.
A few moments later.
Burn it right now. You're gonna buy more. Buy more. Buy more. Buy more. Buy more, buy more, buy more, buy more!
All of their bad traits are being brought to light by no one else but themselves.
He knows he wouldn't do shit about it, and that's the problem.
I mean, you're the one who got hostile for having a difference of opinion.
You ain't lying.
So you help the materialistic people by giving them more materialism?
No, to teach them how to do it without committing crimes.
Yeah,
fat boy.
but
Jesus Christ.
you're tatted from head to toe. You've been in prison. Why talk?
Well, that's
Why
just
not have a
stupid.
debate?
But dude, why are you talking about? Well, no one said
Well, you
anything
said
sexual.
you were on the floor and some guy gave you a message.
Yeah, boy.
Okay. Okay.
Again! You f***ing idiots! I'm not going anywhere!
The beautiful thing about this universe is that eventually, karma balances everything out. The extreme red pill and manosphere taking a turn is a good thing in my opinion. Their dating advice was very unhealthy, misogynistic, and not based on first principles. I think in 2025, more men will realize that you don't have to be an alpha to get girls. You just have to figure out how to be yourself in a way that attracts women. There's links in the description to help you start that process if you want to know how to do that. At the same time of the death of the alpha males, there's something happening on the female side. That leads us to change number 2, the gradual decline of toxic feminists. And before you cancel me, let me explain. First wave feminism happened in the 19th and the 20th centuries. That movement was largely beneficial, fighting for legal rights for women. Second wave feminism happened in the 1960s to the 1980s, along with the civil rights movement. Third wave feminism became a political movement that began around early 90s to 2010. They fought for equal rights, they fought for body autonomy. Most of these movements have been mostly very positive here in the US and around the world. I'm a big supporter of most of the people, men and women, that helped these 3 movements. Then after 2010 came the 4th wave. This is where things got out of control. Along with DEI, ESG scores, corporations were pressured to putting contracts in front of people who were dating at work. People were getting sued left and right. Men were afraid to be men. Sweet Baby Inc. and other companies try to sanitize video games.
If you're a creative working in AAA, which I did for many, many years, put this stuff up to your higher-ups. And if they don't see the value in what you're asking for when you ask for consultants, when you ask for research, go have a coffee with your marketing team and just terrify them with the possibility of what's going to happen if they don't give you what you want.
What?
Around this time was when cold approach started to die because men were so afraid to talk to women. I literally have clients telling me they're afraid to go up to that cute girl at the lunch cafeteria because he's afraid he's going to get a call from HR and he's going to get fired. Doctors and business people started having one female staff member in every single meeting because they were afraid of fraudulent claims and getting sued. In my opinion, it became an ego trip for some people who felt otherwise insignificant. They wanted their voices to be heard at any cost, rather than actually thinking about how to help other people. With Trump's election, this tide is going to shift again to men. I believe men and women should both be progressing, right? But I also think the left went too far here with the transgender bathrooms and all that stuff that doesn't really matter given all our problems right now. Both extremes, left and right, are bad. But overall, I think the decline of DEI with companies like Microsoft, like telling you they're cutting all their DEI staff, this is actually a good thing. 4th wave feminism leaders that wanted to satisfy their egos rather than real change are now getting the microphones taken out of their hands. And this will help men be like men. You can actually go up to someone as a good guy and say hi and not get canceled. The next two changes are the flip sides of a coin. It's a little bit of a paradox. Change number 3 is degeneracy with OnlyFans. OnlyFans is growing exponentially. Karina Koff, apparently she says she made $62 million in 3 years and is retiring. Sophie Rain, this girl is in her early 20s. She makes $400K a month. That means there are a lot of guys paying for this stuff, sitting in front of their computers, playing video games, and jerking it. Now contrast this with change number 4, authenticity and transparency. I think more men in 2025 will become authentic and more transparent this year. With YouTube, you can actually start putting your thoughts out there, and you're seeing people put their experiences out there and it being accessed globally like never before. So I think the extremes will start separating. On one hand, you have guys that are trying to improve themselves, learning from the web. And on the other hand, you have guys that are defaulting to cheap sex, computer games, gambling, cheap dopamine hits. The forces that push you upward and downward are going to become stronger. So once you catch that current, it goes faster. But once you catch a current downstream, that also goes faster. Kind of like that ocean highway that the turtles were riding in Finding Nemo. So you can devolve to degeneracy in front of your computer, or you can have more knowledge than ever before. Change number 5 is dating app burnout. These guys are no longer in the gold rush era. They're now in the gatekeeper era. They have dominated the market and now they're gatekeepers. And what they're gonna do is they're gonna charge you to cross that gate and cross that bridge. So the prices are getting higher and it's getting harder to find people online. And also their incentives are not aligned with you. The dating app's incentive is to keep you on the app and not find a match so they can make more money. Once you find your match, you don't need a dating app anymore. A lot of people also aren't getting results if they are not in the top 10%, and they're starting to realize that. And they just stop using dating apps. Even when you're getting some results, it's a huge drain on your time, swiping every day, messaging. I think people just want to go out to like speed dating events or social events and meet in person. I think more and more people are going to stop using dating apps who are normal. And the people that are socially anxious and awkward that can't do that, they're going to use more apps and they're going to pay more for it. Change number 6, challenging stereotypes. I think Asian guys globally are winning. I see it everywhere. My Asian friends in Asia, Brazil, Eastern Europe. There's also a lot more movies with diversity and Asian men. So I think the racism is still there, especially in the US, but it's no longer at the forefront. So I see more interracial couples. More important than that, I see more freedom in dating who you think you should date, whoever it might be, whatever background or race or country. And I think that's good for Asian guys and, you know, minority guys in general. Change number 7, divergence of passport bros. So there are a lot more passport bros. People are leaving the States like it's a house on fire. And you're going to see a lot more why I moved to Thailand, Brazil, Philippines videos in 2025. Nothing wrong with that, but don't get caught up in the hype. If you're a loser back home, you're just going to be less of a loser in another country. If you're a winner back home, you're going to be winning 3-4 times harder. If you're, for example, in Thailand, because your money goes further and your game goes further. Change number 8 is that in the US, I think there'll be a divergence between 3 types of guys. Super rich guys who don't need to worry about money, the bros who have regular jobs but are good at game, and then there's rest of us who have good jobs or are struggling a little bit, and we're struggling with women as well. I think this will lead to a lot of disconnect in the US. This is kind of a divergence of wealth, and more important than a divergence of wealth, it's a divergence of free time. If you're working hard at your job because you're afraid to get fired, if inflation keeps going up and you're afraid that to keep up with the Joneses, you know, buying a nice car, paying the mortgage, keeping the house, you're going to be spending more time worried about making an income. And that leaves the guys that have money or the bros who get girls easily with an advantage because they don't need to spend as much time to get the same quality of girl that you want. Change number 9. You're gonna get a lot of why dating is broken in 2025 videos. Yeah, men are hating women for this. Because YouTube, they hand out money for views. And views are driven by negative emotions, especially in mediums where there's low attention spans. Negative news garners more views than positive news. So you're gonna see YouTubes like Men Are Lonely, how women are destroying men in 2025, why women only care about looks, never let women know these 3 things about you in dating, huh? It's all bullshit, it's all clickbait, none of it matters. don't fall for it. Don't go down these rabbit holes. Uninformed guys who know nothing about dating may fall for it, but if you're watching my channel, I know you won't, because we just talked about 9 trends, and I think you realized it by now in this video. It's like Niobe says to Morpheus, some things change and some things never change. Male and female dynamics, that's never going to change in our lifetime, unless we evolve again in another 250,000 years, the last time it happened. Attraction is universal. Learning how to attract women is universal. So what can you do given all this change in 2025? First, I encourage you to build your foundation on first level principles and evergreen principles. That means that the times may change, your core values do not. And you can learn how to do that with some of the free resources and the links in the description. The second thing is start now, don't wait, because learning social skills gets harder the older you get. The third thing I would impart to you is whatever you can do, try to create a feedback loop. Most guys get stuck in dating because they're not getting feedback or the correct feedback. Now you can ask your friends, you can record your own conversations, you can write down notes, you can keep a diary. But ultimately, if you don't know what you're doing, getting someone who knows what they're doing, even a coach, ideally in person, to show you what's possible is the best way to break those limiting beliefs and install new ones. You need that feedback loop of what you're not doing right and correcting it in order to keep improving until you get to a point where your level is high enough to get success most of the time. The other suggestion is that even if you can't move right now because of your job, your family, or your, roots of wherever you are, go visit a country with a high female to male ratio. Because when you do that, you're going to experience a totally different difficulty level of the game, and it's going to change your limiting beliefs a lot, trust me. Next, invest in yourself. You don't have to buy my course. I would highly recommend Tony Robbins' UPL, Unleash the Power Within. I have personally paid for leadership programs, weekends, even a week, 2 weeks. Therapists, in-person coaching. One thing I learned from my mentors is that all of the ones that are the most successful financially and socially are guys who hire other people to help them in areas where they're not great. What they're doing is they're cutting their learning curve by like a factor of 10x. So invest in yourself. Go out there. Invest in a coach. Invest in speaking, Toastmasters. Invest in public speaking skills. Invest in your social skills. And I promise you, down the road, it will pay dividends. Lastly, once you recognize these trends, you want to ride the wave if it benefits you, and you want to avoid the tsunami if it doesn't. Level up yourself, your loved ones, your family, the people around you. And once you do that, make the world a better place if you can. But don't start trying to make the world a better place if your life is not where you want it to be, in my humble opinion. If you're on your self-development journey right now and want some help, there are some free resources in the links in the description and my optional course for improving your dating life. Enjoy.